Hey guys, Mickey here. Again, just back from a week in Madison, Balkville at the Antique Show, which I did pretty well at, but my best score did not come from there. It came from an estate sale that I ended up leaving the show and going back to the show just to go to this estate sale and get this item, which is probably one of my best scores of the year from what I paid to just how awesome and historical of a interesting military piece it is. But I'm trying to make a long story short. My buddy in local antiquer and dealer sent me a message. Well, I had just gotten to Balkville, and he's like, he sends me a picture. I'll show you the picture here, so you'll know what it is if you know World War I Marine stuff. And if you're on my Facebook, you've seen it already, so it's not that big of a secret. But anyway, he sends me this picture and he says, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, no, where is this?" And he's like, "An estate sale." And I'm like, "Okay, where?" But anyway, so I had to find it, and I ended up finding it on Craigslist of all places, an estate sale advertised on Craigslist, not estatesales.net or Facebook Marketplace or estatesales.com or org or whatever, but it was Craigslist out of all places. So we found it, and so I appreciate the heads up, and he was really cool about it. He just said, "Hey, I just was trying to help you out." And Chris, thank you again, because he is a viewer. Appreciate the heads up. Really awesome of you to do that. And I ended up leaving the show, was it Friday morning? I'd been there since Sunday. I left the show Thursday night because I was sleeping in my truck anyway, so I figured, what the hell? I'll go to the estate sale because it was 2 hours away. So I drove 2 hours, slept in my truck. It was pretty shady because it was in the middle of frigging nowhere, and there was like no real parking. So I'm like basically kind of in a ditch, and it was just shady. I'm like, as I went to sleep, I'm like, somebody's gonna hit me and I'm gonna die, and waiting for an estate sale. So after I got my number, got in, beelined it upstairs because my buddy was able to find out that they were upstairs, so I went straight upstairs. Also, being number one helped because I was able to be the first one in there, and I was the only one upstairs for a good little while, and I was able to walk right to this beautiful World War I 2nd Infantry Division, Marine Corps, 5th Regiment, 2nd Battalion, right? Yes. World War I uniform, which is, most of you military guys should know, that's like a grail piece of a lot of World War I guys. And the price was $75. So that's pretty cool. It's a great deal. Couldn't pass it up. I would have paid, hundreds, but whatever. They had it priced at $75. I snagged it. It had the pants. Just wow. Now, one of the things that makes a uniform like this unique is, one, is Marine Corps, which World War I Marine Corps is incredibly rare. Second of all, you got the distinctive single shoulder sleeve insignia of the 2nd Infantry Division. Well, what's unique about that is it's the first and only time Marines and Navy were actually attached to an Army division, which would be the 2nd Infantry Division, which normally is like a shield with the Indian head and the star. How we know this is 5th Marines and 2nd Battalion is because of the color and the shape of the patch. Other units of the Marine Corps used, like, they would have them shaped like this. There was diamonds, there were circles. Each shape and color signified a different unit. So making these patches incredibly unique and very hard to find, very collectible. These patches are alone are around 250, 400s, give or take, depending on the unit. But here, with the 5th Marine Regiment, it's probably one of the more sought-after ones because of the campaigns they served in during World War I. One being Bellwood, which was one of the biggest Marine offensives of the war, and very integral, big part of Marine Corps history. It's where they earned the name Teufelhoden from the Germans, translating to the Devil Dogs, which they still use proudly to this day. the Marine Corps. They love the devil dogs, leathernecks. They love their history. It's one of the things I love the most about Marine Corps. This guy in particular, though, he was not at Bellwood, which does impact the value a little bit because he was a replacement, came in after Bellwood, but he did serve in San Miel, excuse my French, San Miel, Battle of San Miel, and the Meuse-Argonne Offensive, which are two very integral campaigns, especially San Miel, because that was one of the first offensives of World War One, or the first offensive of World War One that was led by all Americans, by General Pershing, and was a success too. So that's good. So he would have been here, but how do I know that? Good question. Now, one of the ways we can tell is from these two stripes here, which are called war service chevrons or overseas stripes, indicating he was in two campaigns, basically. And if he had been in Bellwood, there should be three here. And so not only from that was I able to piece together that he, wasn't a Bellwood, but through a little bit of research, a little bit of, detective work, which is, part of military collecting, something you have to do. When I went to this sale, there was two Marine Corps uniforms. One was World War I, one was World War II. Now, my first instinct was father-son, which happens quite a bit. Actually, my great-grandfather was a Marine, my grandfather was a Marine, as well as my father. So it's a tradition thing, for sure. I kind of broke the mold, being me, but I do still have a deep love of military stuff and the Marine Corps because of my family history. So yeah, my first instinct was that it was father-son. But going from the name on the mailbox and the estate sale name, which the estate sale company did make public, was Wigston, which is a very unique name. But there was nobody by that name in the 2nd Infantry Division in the Marine Corps during World War I. So that was a dead end. And that was the name on the World War II jacket. But from the World War II jacket, I was able to get the name of the man who owned this house originally, whose name was Paul. That led me to his obituary, which was from the 90s. He had passed away in the 90s, unfortunately. But his wife had still been alive, and she had passed away in 2020. From her obituary, I was able to get, let me take a couple steps back. I was able to find initials in the trousers here, which is another great thing about this lot, because the jacket alone is a great piece, but the trousers too, it's great to have. And there you can see the initials, JRL. So I did kind of have an idea where to go. So from her obituary, I learned that her father's name was John Lyman. So JRL, I got two. There's two letters matching up right there. And then a buddy came along because I got the uniform, went back to Bouckville, opened up my booth, started selling stuff. And one of the other vendors comes along and I'm showing it off because I'm like, look at this. This is awesome. He's another World War One, or actually, he's a World War One collector, fanatic too. So he had genealogy and was able to do a quick search for John R Lyman. And we found him. We found John Ramil Lyman is the name of the Marine that wore this uniform, and discovered the campaigns he was in, which would have been Saint Miel and Meuse-Argonne, which makes perfect sense for the service stripes. And then upon that, I was able to look John Ramil up, and I found in his obituary mentioning his daughter clearly. So through all that little bit of research, I was able to get a name. So that's kind of fun to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, because a little bit of research can go a long way when it comes to military stuff. Because one problem with estate sailors, pickers, and stuff like that, when they come across something like that at an estate sale, they're going to just buy the uniform for its monetary value and be like, that's that, So then the name will be lost to history, which is just tragic because each one of these Marine stories deserves to be told and remembered, and otherwise it'd just be lost to history. And like I said, it'd just be tragic for that to have happened. But now the Marine's name can be carried on respectively to the collector that's going to be getting this from me eventually when I decide to sell it, because I don't really want to sell it because it's really cool and I love Marine Corps stuff. But rule number one, a reseller, don't be your best customer. So I guess, needless to say, just don't be afraid to ask family history at these estate sales, because it could lead to, potentially higher value, which is one thing, and also knowing the history of the item, which is much better than just having an empty uniform, so to speak, for later collectors. So keep that in mind. Just don't be afraid to ask if they don't have it public already. Worst they can do is say no. Then you could probably still research it somehow anyway. But as far as estate sales, I don't generally like to sleep in my car for them. But for something like this, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to be the first one to grab it. Plus, like I said, I was already sleeping in my car, so why not? Between whether it was at the antique show or the estate sale. So what difference did it make there? And I did pick up a couple other things. There wasn't a lot that I wanted there other than the uniforms. But I did grab a couple cool things, like guessing the wife might have worked at Toys R Us at some point, because I got a Toys R Us uniform shirt, which I thought was kind of neat. Right here. But and they had like a cool kids room that they had set up, and they had like a bunch of these standees from like Toy Story, and from, I think that's Toy Story 2. But you got Mr. Potato Head there. Got this Buzz Lightyear. It says only in theaters. I don't see a date, but the cones, I think that's from Toy Story 2. Al's Toy Barn there. They're trying to get across the road. Also got Stinky Pete. My biscuits are burning. Got Rex and Zurg, which those are all kind of cool. These were $2 each. I left a few because I got drunk by the uniforms and my hands were full too. But I think I left like Jesse and I think Ham, so I should have grabbed those, but oh well. But I also got these must be from the Rugrats movie, the first movie, I'm guessing. I got Tommy there in his little safari outfit, and Phil and Lil, and Chucky. So those are cool. I'm guessing, like I said, from the movie. Couldn't find any comps, but there's gotta be some kind of value there. I might just auction them, seeing as how I got done with the uniform. So whatever I get on these would just be pure profit anyway, because I'm gonna do pretty well on that uniform. So there we have it, guys. Really good score for me. I'm really glad to be the caretaker of this for a little while anyway. Let me know if you've ever had like a really great item that you camped out overnight for in the comments. And did you get it? Did you not get it? Or did you do well with it? Did you keep it for your collection? Let me know in the comments. Would love to know, because like I said, I'm generally not the guy that sleeps in my car for estate sales. I'll get there, early, but I ain't gonna sleep in my car for them. But for something that cool, I had to. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in and watching the little video about the Marine Corps uniform. I have fun doing research on stuff like that, so I hope you guys got a little bit of info on the Marine Corps, maybe something you didn't know before. Some of you probably did, probably know a lot more than I do about World War I. But thanks for tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, please click like and subscribe. Does the channel a big help. I'll catch you guys next time.